Hey guys, what's going on? It's SpotTheOzzie for round number 14 of a possible round number 15 World Championship season number 4, and today we are looking to race up Brazil. I don't know, do we have any Brazilian fans? Comment below if you're from Brazil. I thought Ribeiro was from Brazil. He's actually from Portugal. Ronaldo, which is like Ronaldo from Brazil, Ronaldo from Portugal as well. I don't know. They're both great players. Who do you think's the better player? Well, give this video a thumbs up if you like Brazil. Last time we raced here, we had a lot of success. We got our first 1-2 in last season. Maybe we might be able to do it again. I don't think so because the car's not that competitive. But the thing is, last race we got pinged for cheating. We got both cars into the top 10, into the points once again. We got pinged for cheating, and one of our parts were banned. And that is, of course, the brakes. The brakes got banned. And the 972 is actually quite a high of a difference once you go up. So I'm looking at, we actually want to design another brake, and the reason why people are going to be like, mate, you just said last round you don't want to build any new parts. Now, when the cars roll over into the next series, what they do is they take the highest brake component that you fixed before the end of the season and make that the base stat for next year. So with that part being banned, I don't believe part bans are counted. Therefore, we're going to have to build something. Now, I'd love to be able to pick like something like that and then, you know, absolutely punch it. But we actually want something ready. Well, actually, you know what? If we skip Brazil, I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference. We're getting pings. People are commenting on the YouTube videos. That's what those are. Ping, 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 ping. But what we want to do is reliability plus 2% for each day. 2+ days. 15 max for 2 days. 30%, 20. That would be what I'd want to pick, but that's going to be 1 day after the race. And if we don't pick that, like something like that, we pick that instead, it would be ready 3 days before the race. Now, do we want to get that component? Is that going to make such a big difference? It does, doesn't it? Because it adds the potential to go higher. I'm going to go like that. It's going to be ready 1 day after the race. Unfortunately, we're not going to have it ready to go for the race. Sucks, I know, but such a shame, isn't it? Build time, 11 days. You got to remember, when you travel in 7 days, the components have to be ready when you travel 2 days before, not on the actual day of the race. So that's why I'm doing it that way instead. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it that way. And the 2% reliability. We don't actually need that, do we? We can fix that after the race because we're going to have a big time between the next calendar. And I actually don't want to risk any components. So that's actually the best we can do. So let's just do that. Let's get the brakes working for the following race when it's more crucial. Parts are being worked on. What do we want to look at? What is crucial for this race? Top speed, numero uno. Get that speed up, baby. I want to get rid of everything that's in queue right now. Front wing, we might want to fix one just a little bit. Get them both up. I think front wings, nope, they're not actually useful here. That's fine. Rear wing, where are you? Yeah, we can fix those just a little bit. We might just do a little bit on the rear wing. Get that upside. Brakes, now what are we going to do? One car's going to have to go back down to these ones. That's fine too. Engine, 96. We'll get that engine pumping as well. Because we won't have to do those brakes either, so we'll just do those components for now. Stack it for that side. Do we have to fix any reliability? The brakes are going to be average because we're going to have to use those brakes. So get rid of that rear wing, do the brakes a little bit more, shape them up, what you need to do. Oh god, why does it always happen like that? Always something that you always get caught in, doesn't it? But yeah, hopefully we're not going to run any illegal components except for just that one illegal gearbox. And I'm happy to do that because at the end of the day, if it's a low risk component, it's very unlikely. We ran medium risk the whole time and we hadn't been caught. Now, sponsors. I'd been offered 2 just before I started recording, and then I wanted to see what the third one was. They're all pretty poor. Third or above, 750,000. I think we're going to have to just accept that. It's going to go for 6 races, 750,000, 1.3 if we qualify. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? Because we've already got Football Manager there for 600,000 for the 7th or above, that's more likely to happen. So I think this one here for 8, no, it's 8 races. We don't actually want to put our sponsors out by that much. So that's the better deal for us. And I'm looking at buildings I want to build up next. I want to keep building stuff just in time for next season. So the handling and development would be a really good pick, I reckon. So I'm going to just stash that up as well. Is that enough? Nope. What can we do? Telemetry center gearbox. Let's get that gearbox absolutely. Not only does it put it in, it puts the driving consistency and the movement up, which is good for Lara. And as for the car, how are we looking for improvement wise? Might just want to put the brakes to a little bit more greater emphasis. 3 days to the race. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. Just suck it up. Pause. We've got mail. Don't worry about Fisher. He's a nobody anyway. 73, that's fine. So we're going to just go back and stack the performance a little bit more. We're traveling to Rio de Janeiro. 7th or above. Yep. Tire selection. Ultra softs. 10. 4 softs. 10 and 4 softs. Part fitting. What do we want to do? We want to stack Tievo's car. He actually responded a lot better than Lara could with the better car. So that's one way. It's good. Yes. 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 And 77% for rear wing. That should be fine. Yes. So let's get this underway. It's going to be a clear practice, raining for qualifying, clear again for the race. Now, last time we instantly took qualifying. I'm going to save the game before we do that this time. And I'm just going to check out to see if the instant qualifying will be better than our qualifying. This track is a long track. It's like a 2-minute track from memory. It's a long way. Isn't it so great that the tracks are very close replicas of their Formula 1 counterparts, but they're not exact replicas enough for them to be identified as those tracks for them to be sued. So that's pretty much it. They didn't want to get the license for the game, and for varying reasons, it gave them much more opportunity. Let's just see how we go with a medium setup. I'm going to skip practice for you guys, and we will be back. We will be back. I'll be back. We will do qualifying. I always take practice so I can get the cars tweaked inside that window. In fact, let's just do one lap so I can show you. I can actually show you guys what the track looks like. It looks very much like the Brazil track as you know it. And they start off on that main straight, just out of the pit lane. Obviously, the pit lane doesn't enter. Rather, the track goes a little bit right here, then left into the sweeper, right back onto the track. All the fans are around. There's an Italian flag there. I don't know why there's an Italian flag. You'd think he'd be murdered with the fact that he's Italian in Brazil, but that's fine. Around to the sweeper, and instead of going left faster than up the hill, well, actually, no, it goes left up. So it's still very similar to the actual track. Comes around all the way out. This is a variation track, so it's a long version of this track. There's always different versions you can get. I'm going to put them into bring-in laps. Beautiful track, isn't it? It looks really nice, just with the fact that there's a lot of rainforest still around, a lot of the natural habitats, so they go back around. So what's going on? We're back for qualifying at the moment. As you know, qualifying is problematic. It is terrible to qualify. I'm going to go out on ultra soft tyres, qualifying trim. Same for you, partner, qualifying trim, ultra soft tyres, qualifying trim. That's what we want to do, get the most performance out of the car. As for car setup, we have to play a little bit around this to get them back into the windows. So back that way, bang, I think that should be enough. Just like that. Let's see what that does to your car when you go out. As for you, partner, same story. We're going to have to kick up your wing quite significantly to get you into the window. Get that handling back to where it needs to be. We will try to see what happens when we go that far off the spindle. Now, if we go a little bit more, and we fix it back for handling. Let's try that. Let's see what happens when we do that. That should be a much better setup. So what we're going to do now is, we're going to take qualifying. I'm going to send them both out straight away. It's going to be raining a little bit as per the forecast window. But the main thing is just getting a little bit of feedback from the drivers. And as you know, I never let them complete the first or second lap because there's too many cars on the track that they get completely bogged down. This is just about getting out there, giving me that one more lap of feedback that they usually get, and there's no point. Right now it's a dry, semi-wet track, and we are on ultra soft tyres, just to way up the setup. Some cars have come out in ultra softs. That's Lippinon, I believe. Who was that? Can't see him on my screen. He's tucked in behind someone. I can't click on him. Bring in. I don't know who that is. I can't click on him. This is annoying. Anyway, okay, so we want to make sure that we go out on the optimum time, that there's less cars out there, but at the same time we want to also go out there when it's not raining and when it's dry, and it looks like it's going to get dry, so we're going to send them out any minute. We also want to make sure there's about 12 to 10 cars that have completed their out laps. That way everyone starts to go on their in lap by the time we do our out lap, and we have a spare lap to do our fang. So where are we? Cars are now starting to slowly generate their sector times. Fast forward that up just a little bit. Where are we? Come on, 131s. Here we go, time should start to kick in now. Most cars come on. So we have to wait. You would have remembered probably 2 rounds ago when we did this. We waited till about the 7th minute. So we should only have to wait till then. There's a bit of a dry instance right here. So we're going to send both cars out. 97%. Perfect. We've got the car in the window. So we're going to send him out. Super soft tyres. We'll send Lara out just after him. So he's just getting fixed up. Cool. Lara, how's your setup? 97%. Both cars are in the window. That's great. Send out as well. Should just be right behind him. And there's now 8 cars who have done their laps. So most of them will be doing their in-lap now. So now we just want to pump them as much as we possibly can, get them around for that window. We want them to speed it up because it's only going to be dry for just like that 2 to 3 minute window of the time. So it takes about a minute and a half to get around here at least. As you can see, the times are all bunched up. There are guys 10 seconds off the pace. Sharp did ultra tyres. He was off by 2.7. That's just going to be because of the amount of people in the way. So hopefully we can get a bit of track towards ourselves with better tyres for our race lap. That is the main thing that how many cars have done their lap? So we're waiting for 2 more cars. Lundqvist, who's just going to be doing her lap now, and 1 more other car should be out there. So hopefully she will not get in the way. Where are our drivers? Partner's the lead driver at the moment. We want to start to slow down. Get those temperatures down. Give a bit of a gap between us and the next car. Can we get them down in time? I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about getting track time and also making sure that we're in the right... Oh my god. Wow, what the hell? We just like merged through a car. So at the moment, it's going to start raining any second, but it won't get damp just yet. It's perfect conditions. There is no one in front of us for the entire track for at least half a lap here. Lundqvist is the first car that we're going to catch up. They're already halfway around the track, and we're not catching. We're 0.044 down for Partner. Lara has done the fastest time. Here comes the rain. We're down by 0.421. So this is perfect. If we went a little bit earlier, yes, it would have been sunshine throughout the entire lap, but we would have been behind Lundqvist and lost about 3 to 4 seconds. So right now, let's see what the second splits are going to be. Partner, he's up. He's up by 0.264. Lara is even faster, 0.760. So the track isn't damp enough to affect their times yet. Let's see if Partner can get by. No, he's bogged down slow. He's slowing down a little bit by the fact that Lundqvist was still coming around. Here comes Lara doing her fastest lap that she's done. She's not held up at all. Partner goes 3rd and Lara goes 2nd. Who are we behind? Espinoza, who's currently in the pit. That is perfect. That is what we needed. Where is Lippinon and Schmidt? Schmidt in 11th, Lippinon in 19th. The guys who are coming 2nd in the Constructors' Championship. Now, it's about us getting around and sending them out. Had I have sent them out earlier? Yes, they would have been in that little bit more better window for drier times, as I was just saying. But they would have caught up to those cars and would have stuffed up their laps. That's why Partnen had went backwards. He was up by about, 0.5, and then he ended up being down by 1.4. So the fact that there was a slower car in the way for a little bit at the end of that lap caught us out. But, at the moment, I don't know what's just happened. They're in autopilot and they've completely slowed down. And now they're bogging everyone. So we should be able to go on the pits and get our cars to go out one more time. I don't think anyone's going to be able to go any faster. The track is that wet at the moment. And this is perfect. We're going to be starting 2nd and 3rd on the grid. Let's get out there. Let's do a quick intermediate time. Let's just try to fix this wing just a little bit. Just a little bit. That should be fine. Let's see if that can get the car in the window. Intermediate tyres going on for you. Lara, what's your story? We might just try to fix your car just a little bit. Handling is great. How can I fix you? We can just maybe go a little bit more stiffer. Let's try that. Let's see if that's going to fix your car as well. Intermediate tyres. Out you go. And they should not be able to go faster given that it's a much more damper track. So yeah, we've done what we needed to do. A second and third. Unfortunately, not getting pole. Those 2 extra points would have been vital for our championship contender, for our, the fact that we're trying to win this championship, but we'll take it. We'll take the fact that we've got a second and third, our best qualifying to date. And I don't know where they are on the track. Where are they? Will they be able to get around in time? I don't know. Lara definitely will. Partner, I don't know if we'll be able to get around. Lara might not even be able to get around on the start before the time starts. No, she won't. Okay, fair enough. Where is Partner around on the track as well? No one's going to be able to go faster. Schmidt still 11th, Lippinon in 19th. So, great time for us. Perfect window to go out. No cars really bogged us except for that one little car that was out there. The rain dropped just in time for us not to get caught. We were off by a complete second after we were up in the first 2 splits convincingly. That's the way it goes sometimes. It's a big shame that we didn't get those times. No, we're going down. So Sylvander has gone faster at the end part in the 3rd sector. Fair enough. And that's going to push us to 2nd and 4th. Anyone else doing their lap? Let's just speed this up a little bit. Lippinon down to the 20th, Schmidt in 12th. So both of their cars outside the points. So right now, we don't get the 2 points, 2 bonus points for pole position. That's okay. Right now, we can win this race. We're in a position to win this race. That is more people commenting on these videos. Alright guys, we're back for the race. So now we're just picking our knowledge bonuses that we would have picked up in the qualifying. One thing I want to check is how long is this weather going to hold it? It's a 13 lap race, which isn't that deep. However, now that we're starting at the front, we can probably go an aggressive setup in terms of instead of going for a duration where we're overcutting people, we might want to undercut people just to make sure we're getting clear track all that time, because once you start battling with other people, gee, it makes it much difficult, doesn't it? So, race trim level 3, ultra soft tyres is 3. That's the setup we're going to go for both cars, I believe. I'm not worried about take a negative 15% mistake chance because I'd rather get the 15% increases for those tyres. Both cars are in the windows. Let's just check our setups. 98%, that's great. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Couldn't go any better than that. Ultra soft tyres, 8 to 10 laps. Now, I know some people are going to be out there like, oh, but you could go the distance and go 13 full laps if you pick soft tyres. I always lowball. When it says estimated between 12 to 14, I always lowball and say, well, it's going to be between... I'm always lowballing saying, I'm going to take 12 as the figure if we were to run a neutral setup. But the way I see it is, if we lock up, which happens every race when we're battling, which happens when we're pushing the cars, all of a sudden, that tread goes down by 20% and we have to pit and we're stupid to go all the way on softs. So we'll get the bonus by going out in the ultra softs, 8 to 10 laps, which means we'll have to do 1 stop for each person. And that also means if we have a safety car and everyone pits, we're on the better tyre anyway to get the performance out of it. And the fact that we're at the front of the grid means we're going to have a good chance of pushing earlier in that race, soft tyres for you as well. And as for the driving setup, let's go into overtake mode. Now, usually for the engine, I go back to push, or I go back to medium, and then I wait until we get a bit more air and do it. But because we're at the front, we want to make sure we keep our track position up there. Bonus today is 7th or above to get $300,000. I want to go better than that. I want to get both drivers into the top 5. The championship contenders that we're looking to beat are Schmidt, who's 12th, and Lippinon is 20th. They're coming second in the Constructors' Championship by 39 points with 2 races to go. This race and the next one. So if we can get both drivers into the top 5 and they don't score a single point, that would be, depending upon which exact spot, we're looking at possibly 30 plus points, so it would come down to the last round to nap that second spot, which would be a huge payday for us. So here we go, 5 lights, 4 lights, 3 lights, 2 lights, 1 light, and we're going to be underway at Brazil. Lara gets a great start. She's in the lead of the race. We haven't led any laps of the race. Partner goes through as well, so Lara and Partner just getting that better cue. They get the starts they want, and now they're pushing, and I'm glad that they're going to keep pushing. We're going to leave their engine into overtake mode, while everyone else is going to be battling in that overtake mode as well. I'm okay to do that because we're in clean air. There's no one else around us. If we were bunched up in between 5th and 6th, I might want it back down to push mode. But because we've gotten off the line cleanly, this is about just making sure we're in the window. And we're going to keep pushing. We've got tyre degradation to go. We're going to have to keep watching the water on the track and the weather forecast to make sure there's not going to be an increase. Partner is now holding up the squad. You've got to remember, Partner has the better car out of the two. Let's just check our reliability. Everything looks schmick, 97% for engine, so we're okay to keep pushing. We might want to wind that back down now into high mode just for a little bit, and then we'll get back into medium mode. Because remember, at the start of the season, we designed a car that wasn't that fuel efficient. We boosted the improvability. That way we could catch the base stats up to the other cars faster. But we did not do good fuel efficiency, and it seems to have worked for us for the rest of the season. But now that they've gotten a bit of a gap. They've gotten a bit of a gap back down to Espinosa at 1.6. Espinosa now back on the charge. He really wants to catch us. He's keen to get on the back of us. And he's doing that right now because we've pushed the cars back a little bit. So he might go back into medium mode just to get that little bit more out of the cars than what we need. That fight, he's been able to catch that gap. He's down by 1.7 seconds on our tail just because of that. That was really fast. That just goes to show how much of a difference it does when you start to wind the cars back. I don't want to get caught pushing the cars more than what they need to do, and then we're going to be stuffed for the last lap when we have to go back to conserve mode. We're running out of fuel at the last bit of the race. Espinosa now, we've got a bit of a gap. He starts to wind his engine down, so we're going to do that now as well. Lara has a little bit of a gap over Partner, and this is exactly how we wanted this race to go. This could not have gone any better. Let's have a look at Schmidt. Schmidt back in 12th position. That's perfect. Lippinon back in 17th position. You've got to remember, only one car has one illegal component, and I believe that is Lara's car. So it's a very low risk of getting caught. So I'm happy for them to keep pushing it as they are, and I don't think they're going to get caught. Let's have a look at how much fuel they have to burn when they go past laps. And because we're starting to really burn into the tyres, let's go back into neutral mode. We have the gap that we want. The track grip is going to keep going up and up and up. We might actually go back into conserve mode. That's how much we burnt them up. I did stop watching it for a little bit, but that's okay. I was happy for them to burn it through. We're definitely going to have to do one stop over the rest of the field. The guys who are on soft tyres, the biggest closest threat is Saarinen, and he's got that much of a gap. You got to think, he's already used 30% by lap 4. That means if he was to go all the way on those tyres, they would not last. And you got to remember, he might lock up along the way. So right now, we're in the window. We are absolutely blitzing away from the field. We have another big gap over Espinosa. Espinosa just seems to be following us around like a wet smell. So we might just go to conserve mode. I don't want to undercut, because if we undercut and come out in traffic, that's going to completely muck up our race. So let's go back into backup mode for the tyres at least. Espinosa seems to be doing the same. His tyres are down to 44%, so he might get caught up in the riffraff if he has to pit early, which at this stage looks to be the case. We've got really great tyre wear happening at the moment. We're going to zoom in a little bit. Let's just listen to those engines. And I'm in a really good mood because we are absolutely killing it now at the front. 405 kilometers for Partner past that speed trap. How's Espinosa going? 40%. We've got both higher tyre tread for both cars. We're almost close to the halfway mark. And the thing is, we're actually blitzing away from the rest of the field. Sharp, who is usually... look, he's gained a little bit. He's gained 2.279 seconds. He's down to 45%, which is almost what we're on as well. How is Holtz going? Holtz also on 45%. So they're catching. So actually, Espinosa goes through. Espinosa goes through. So he's gone through on us. He's gone through Partner, who was defending Lara, but that's okay. We'll just keep doing our race. We'll keep pushing the cars as much as they possibly can go. And I think we might actually go back into neutral mode for both cars. I'm happy for that to happen. Espinosa wants to pit. We're not going to let him by. We're not going to make it easy for him. He goes by. That's okay. That's okay. I'm happy for him to do that. And make the most of the tyres as they are now. They're starting to really burn, so we're actually going to go back into conserve mode for both. And I actually want Lara... We don't want to double stack, so we might get Lara to push in the next lap or two to burn up those tyres because she won't need them, and we want a bit of a gap between Partner and further back. Sharp and Holtz have been absolutely catching on that battle pack, but their tyre usage is up as well. Lara now seems to want to fight Espinosa for position. Partner's caught up to Lara, so she is going to be pushing for one more lap. He goes in the pits. We go straight by, and we're now back in the lead of this race. Now it's up for Lara to completely push those tyres. She has 34% tyre tread. Parton still seems to be catching, despite the fact that they're running equally fuel and that she's got a push mode on her tyres. And look at that. Sharp does a huge dive. A huge dive. We're going to go back into neutral. How's Sharp's tyres? He's in a conserve mode, but his engine mode is into absolute overtake. So he's looking to get that DRS little bit of a boost by sitting behind us and flicking it on and off. She's going to go in, so let's go to push mode. Let's not let anyone by. This last bit of the lap. Putnam's now on the back tail of this fight, getting held up just a little bit, not too much. It's not that big of a deal. He's backing, he's definitely backing Sharp back up, and we're going to pit as well. We're going to pit for super soft tyres, which is going to get us definitely to the end of this race. All the parts look fine. In you go, into the pit you go. So now, our good friend Putnam is now going to have clean track here. He's got no one around us to contend with. We want to get him in to go into push mode as well. He's got 10% or more to use by the time he gets around. That's 24% for Lara as she comes in. It's a good stop. Will she come out ahead of Sharp? Yes, she does, just. So they're now battling for position, and we're going to get her to push. We're going to get her to absolutely push outside of the pits. What is Sharp going to do? How's he going to spawn? He's going to go back into push mode. They've only got 6 laps to go, and those tyres will last. So right now, Putnam doing a good job out front. Clean air. Gonzalez is backing away. Gonzalez is also going to the pits this next lap. We're going to get Putnam to pit now. Everything looks fine. Nothing to really fix. Super soft tyres. In you go, buddy. You've done a fabulous job out the front. How is Lara going? She's now fighting. Who is she fighting? She seems to be fighting Lippinon. So what are they doing? Lippinon's come all the way from the back of the field, and he looks like he's going to possibly be doing a stop strategy where he's not going to pit at all. Now, Putnam comes in. Let's get him to go into attack mode. Hopefully there's no mistakes here. How are we going? Pit stop, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. It's a good stop, 5.2. He drops down, but not after everyone else has to pit. Lara in 9th. And it looks like Schmidt now has to pit, so he's going to have to drop behind. And we're now holding up. So Putnam's come out the front of Holtz and Sharp. Everyone's on a bit of a different tyre strategy. It shouldn't really matter because these tyres should get all the way to the end. And now this is purely about Putnam keeping his cool and trying to battle throughout these guys. Now it looks like Lippinon's going to have to pit. So we're now battling with the top team. Dragon Team Race China has now been promoted to battling Steinman Motorsport in the last edges of this race. This is going to come down to reliability. Everything looks fine. Putnam has the better car out of the two. Putnam's been able to jump ahead of Lara and the rest of them because he overcutted all of them while Lara battled Sharp in that outlap. So that's why Putnam's been able to come out ahead. He'll be able to push for a lot longer as well because those tyres, and he's got better tyre wear. He's a more smoother driver. His cornering's better. He's now into first position. Lara should also... She's now into 4th position. Can we get our first race win? We've been so close before. We've put a little bit of a gap between us and Sharp. Sharp back into conserve mode. We might also want to go back into neutral mode just for a little bit, just for the rest of this race, while we manage those tyres. I think we can risk putting it into push mode. Gonzalez now set the fastest sector out, but he's a bit further back from the rest of the field. And this is actually a very interesting race fighting at the front. We've got a Steinman sandwich between Dragon Team Race China, I think's our name. So this is hectic. This is actually really good stuff. We're going to have, what, 3 laps to go once we cross the line. Tyre degradation is now starting. He's starting to turn in his tyres. So let's go back to medium mode. He should have enough tread. If he keeps push mode down, he should have enough tread anyway to keep going. Because as long as it doesn't get below 25%, we're in the good window. Same as Lara. Lara is now keeping a spot. And if Sharp or Holtz have a mechanical issue, we're going to be the beneficiaries. Let's look at Schmidt and Lippinon, the guys who we have to beat. 12th and 14th, outside the points. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. So, we are now under attack from Sharp. Sharp, whose tyres are also 60%. He's back into conservative mode. What's he doing with the engine? The engine's also into back-off mode as well, so he's not going to be rattling all the way down on breathing down our necks, I should say. And we might want to go back into neutral mode just for a little bit. Let's see how that weather's going. It's going to be sunny, 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 so we don't want to completely rip those tyres up. Lara now fighting as well. It's a 2-second gap back to Holtz. It's a 0.4 second gap back to Putnam. And Sharp just... He did the fastest lap of the race. He's into overtake mode, into conservative mode, but still being able to get the fastest lap of the race. And Partnan's got a bit of a gap, so Partnan looks better through the first sector of this track. Where Sharp seems to be better is the second and third parts, which are the much slower parts of this track. How are we going for park condition? Everything looks fine. 60% of tread. Let's go back into push mode. We should still be able to get a little bit of a bite, even though they're starting to suck up the tires a little bit more. 60% of tread with 1.5 laps to go. Let's risk it for the biscuit, put him in, and we'll have another look at how the parts, how they're... Ooh, they've got enough fuel to go around once they come around. So we're going to put them into overtake mode. We're not under any threat for engine or gearbox failure. So here we go. Partner now going into the last lap of the race, completely going into over attack mode to push that gap out beyond the Steinman Motorsport. Same with Lara. We're going to get her to go into driving style of push mode. Engine is to overtake mode as well. We might want to go back into medium mode for both because that has absolutely eaten our fuel a little bit. How's everyone else's fuel going? So Sharp is starting to back off. We should be able to get around enough. Fastest first sector for Lara because she was in overtake mode. So there you go. There is a huge benefit. Who's that? Is that Holtz? Holtz slows down. I don't know what's happening with Holtz. Has Holtz run out of fuel? What is the call? Where is the commentary feed? Zoe Sharp is out of fuel. And so is Nina Holtz. So this might be a 1-2. This might be a 1-2 for us. Where she goes under attack. She goes around the outside. So let's just finish this race into conserve mode. Go back into conserve mode as well. Low engine mode. We don't have to push anymore. This is our race to win. A 1-2 for Dragon Team Race China. While Zoe Sharp tried to put enough pressure on us to try to force us into an error or to push our cars so we ran out of fuel. Unfortunately, that means Schmidt's now going to come into the points. He's actually going to come into the top 7 because of that, which is not what we wanted to see. But Partner comes around for his first win of our season, and it's a 1-2. It's not only just the first, it's not just the first place, but we came a first and second. We benefited from our strategy. We pushed the cars to their maximum. We've come up with the goods. Howes Lippinon finishes outside the points. Schmidt finishes 6th. So we've absolutely creamed him. That's 25 points for first, 18 points for second, 43 points in total. That is a Senna effort. Ayrton Senna will be so proud right now. Get on that theme song. This is huge. I can't believe that. We finished with tyre rubber up our sleeve. Perfect stops, perfect way to go, perfect way of driving. And we were pushing hard enough that Zoe Sharp and Holtz had to push at the end. And that's what's happened. We've come up with the goods. I can't believe it. This is huge. This is such a good rebound for us. Provided none of them gets eaten alive for cheating. So who we got? We've got Schmidt. Actually, Schmidt finishes 6th. And Lippinon's in 11th. So we're hoping no one gets pinged for cheating so they don't get pushed down. Checking cars. Risk of rule break is low. I don't want to look. I can't look. No rules broken. That's good for us. Partnan change. He goes up from 4th to 1st for that race. Lara comes 2nd when she started 2nd. Anyone pinged for cheating? No one gets pinged for cheating. Sorry, nope. I jumped the gun there. Serenin gets pinged for cheating. Demoted 16 places. Espinosa, Scuderia Rossini also gets demoted 18. Mate, Ferrari must be... Sorry, I shouldn't say Ferrari. Don't sue me. It's Scuderia Rossini has been... Both drivers have been demoted for cheating and they're only going to get 2 points for pole position. Unfortunately, that means Wolfgang Schmidt moves up to 4th and so does Lippinon. So they both move up into the points. So it wasn't a... we didn't get the gap that we wanted. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. That is huge. You could not be any happier with that. Lara moves up to 6th. Partner now moves up to 9th. And Schmidt still leads the championship. How's Lippinon going? Lippinon's coming 15th. How's the points? So we are now down... Wow. We're down 9 points going into this last race. So every little point counts now. This last race... And we're now 9 points ahead of Windsor Racing. That's another point to also take note of. So this is going to be an ever important end to the championship. I am so excited for the end race. The fact that we might be able to jump up, and I'm 99.99% sure that the last race in the championship is not double the points like our previous two championships. So that is huge. That is big. How are we? Of course, Bo Ching-Ling has to be the happiest guy right now. 1-2 for the team. Lara's going to increase. Consistency goes up feed and focus goes up. Her relationship with the mechanic does not go up. That's a bit worrying, but anyway. 4.1 mil. Unfortunately, we didn't stack our bonus for our, what is it called? The driving championship bonus. A bonus target. We picked 7th or above. But yeah, 4 mil. I'll take that any day. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. That's a huge result. Again, if Schmidt doesn't finish there and Lipinon's outside the points, we would have literally been 6, 5, 4, 2 points behind. But yeah, this is definitely going to be going down to the last round. I'm going to stack Partnan's car again for the next round. Let's read the news press. Does anyone want to put anything out? We don't really care about Antonov's championship. Boo. Brakes have been built, so they're going to be good to go. We've got 17 days for the next race. Brakes, we finished building the brakes. We can now fit in 20 cars. Good. Partner was definitely pushed to his limits during the Rio de Janeiro, pulling off a number of daring overtaking maneuvers. The Dragon Race Team China driver eventually came out on top, with Lara finishing second and Gonzalez rounding out the podium. We took the championship. How do we want to do it? We also want to do this interview. Do you have time to answer? Yes, I do have a few times. Wow, a 1-2. This has to go down as a dream weekend for you. What was the secret? Well, clearly I had the perfect strategy. Yes, I did. Like, let's be honest here. That was all me. Plus the drivers did their part a little bit. Lara told us she was absolutely delighted coming to second. Does that show a lack of ambition? Not at all. It was a good result, and Lara was entitled to enjoy it. Finish interview. Anyway, guys, that's been race 14. That's been round 14, and we are now fighting for the World Championship come the next season. But we are fighting for second come the next race. So be sure to tune in, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like if you like the result. This is huge for us. Thank you so much, and can't be any more happy. Be sure to tune in, and we'll go from there. Talk to you later, guys. Bang!